Hi y'all, it's Chris with Show Fitness. Here with Ryder, recent NASM certified personal trainer, which we reviewed in a prior video where we talked about past it in 30 minutes, what to study, what not to study, and that got him into the door to work at Equinox. Congratulations. So we don't need to tell you which one, but it's in the greater LA area. So let's talk about that process. So Jim was hiring, you submitted a resume. And take me through the process. What happened next?
I submitted a resume online. I got a call back in a little under a week, and they brought us in for a group interview. I was one of 15 trainers.
Time out. Let's ask a question because I told them to be patient. But a couple of days after you submitted your resume, what happened?
I was kind of freaking out a little bit. I was worried they weren't going to respond to me because they said they were reviewing the application within half an hour of submitting it, and I didn't hear anything for 3 to 4 days. And so I was like, oh, I didn't get this. And then right at the 5-6 day mark, I got an email back saying that I was invited to the hiring.
Maybe they'll call you and do an online interview. Sometimes I've heard that happens. Maybe they bring you in for an in-person one. Give them a good 7 full days, 5 business days. So if you submit your application on Thursday, don't expect to hear back from them until the following Friday. Just to be safe. How many resumes do you think they're going through? The general managers, the training directors, they're going through hundreds. So they're weeding out the stuff they like. So don't worry about it. Got called in. What did you look like? What happened when you went in?
Slacks, shirt, collared shirt, tie, dress shoes. Pretty much dressed up as you can be without a jacket.
You can't see her. She's off camera right now. But what do girls wear for an interview? Yeah.
For a trainer?
Yeah. I mean,
also a skirt.
Potential skirt. You usually say, I think it's 4 inches above the knee, so don't go crazy short. What's like? I don't even know what a blouse is.
Blouse.
That's fine. It's fine. Just a blouse.
Blouse will be covering your breast.
No cleavage usually. That's what they suggest.
Professional. Protected.
Don't show up if you're a female in Lululemon gear. Not acceptable. As a guy, suit. It was hot. No jacket, so we had slacks. Nice shirt. What color shirt?
Great.
Great. And then a tie. What color?
Great blue.
Great blue. Nice. And how many other people were dressed up?
None were dressed up.
No one's wearing a tie. So when he goes through that interview, the managers, they may call him tie guy. That's fine. He sticks out. You need to make a great first impression, so you need to show up on time. If the interview's at, what time was it at, the first one?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Get there at 1. Go to a Starbucks nearby, read, do whatever, but get there at least an hour early. We're in LA, you're in San Francisco, you're in New York. Traffic is life. Was everyone on time?
No, there was less than half that were on time.
If I was the one taking notes, those that came late, I wouldn't even hire. Wouldn't even come close. I'd put a big middle finger by the person's name because I'm not hiring. Because if you can't come on time to a meeting for the first day of your new career, how do you think you're going to be 5 years from now? Punctuality is huge. So you get to the interview, and then let's go through what happened.
They broke us up into small groups, 3 to 4, and then they split up the 5 people they were hiring, and we just rotated. They all asked us like a question. And
What were some of the questions?
what do you envision being a trainer is going to be like? What do you think your job is going to be here at Equinox? Why did you get the training? Why do you want to make this a career?
So my suggestion in those scenarios, try to speak first, because you're going to hear a lot of cookie cutter. I'm passionate about fitness. Did you get a lot of that?
Absolutely.
What was your answer?
My answer is that I want to help people.
Good.
I spent a lot of my life not doing things for other people. I was a bartender, and so one of my things is that I spend so much time kind of like poisoning people's bodies. I want to dedicate just as much time to improving them.
That's great. I like that. So what were some other maybe challenging questions that other people stumbled on, or maybe you thought your answer was really good?
I'd say the question like why do you want to be a trainer? A lot of people had very like self-centered answers. They were like, because this is what I love to do. Like it's kind of like all about them and like their image. And like for me, it was more about like the client. It's about like giving back to people and like doing something positive for other people. And like in my group, everything was kind of just about me, rather than like everybody else.
We're in an age of social media. We like our little selfies, so that's why he stood out. And they brought you in, they contacted you after the meeting?
Yeah.
How many days?
A couple hours.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple hours. I got an email saying I was invited back the second day. they cut it in half, and I don't think I saw one person that was late on the second day. So it seems like they just got immediately rid of the people that were late. And the second day was about a movement screen and program.
Okay, so what movement screen did they suggest?
The squat. They had us analyze the squat and go through like kind of like what we'd be looking for and kind of like how we would interact with.
Did you get like a piece of paper saying this, or was it all verbal?
No, they just said we're gonna have you do a movement screen on a squat and go for it.
My suggestion, whoever you're working with, hey, how you doing? My name's Chris. Eye contact, good handshake, smile. I'm going to take you through a movement screen, but before we do that, I'd like to know if you have any heart history or any medical background I should be aware of, your shoulder health, your knee health, your hip health, just so I can make sure this is appropriate for you. After this screen, I'm going to take you through a little workout of which we're going to find the movement that's optimal for you. We'll progress it and regress it depending on what you're capable of doing. Set the expectations. So how did it go?
It went really well. The movement screen I did the actual screening very well. I did forget to ask about the injury history. I wasn't sure that would be a part of it, but it was, and that's kind of like what I got told off for at the beginning. But I mean, overall, it went really well. I identified that he had a problem with his dorsiflexion. I had him do a knee drive into the wall to check that.
Nice.
And yeah.
So did you have valgus or what?
No, when he would squat, his heel would lift up off the ground. And so I checked his dorsiflexion and he didn't have optimal. He wasn't able to get to the wall from 4 inches.
Nice.
And
So if you just stick to one certification, NASM, you're not going to be prepared to be successful in all aspects of movement. So he's well versed. He knows how to analyze movement. Hands up. Hands up overhead squat, which is fine. You can go here, whatever you want. But he noticed that the squatting heels came up. So he believed that ankle dorsiflexion, which is this, wasn't present. Brought the client to the wall, put his fist to the wall, toes here. Should be able to keep the 3 checkpoints of the foot. What are they?
big toe, little toe heel.
Big toe, little toe heel on the ground at all times. And the knee should be able to touch the wall. It's okay if your knee's past your toes, not a big deal. It is if your heel comes up. I don't, like when you do lunges or whatever, I don't want your knee traveling past your toes if your heel comes up or if you're everting or if you're inverting. So it's a case by case. You did that well. Did you have to do any exercise?
No, that was the only movement thing we did. The other part was they gave us a sheet with a list of a client's basic measurements of body fat, height, weight, and their workout history, and then we had to design a two-day program for them.
So what did that look like?
For me, it was just movement patterns. It was push, pull, hinge, squat. No carry because it was a female. And so it was 3 rounds of 2 exercises with a core circuit at the end. And it was high reps, just trying to hone in those movement patterns for someone who had never worked out before because she was afraid to get big and bulky. And so the first thing that I kind of preface the workout with is that I would educate her that she would not get big and bulky based on lifting, simply because females have lower testosterone, and she would only get big and bulky if she lifted for specifically that.
That's a good point. You're not going to get jacked traps unless you're doing heavy lateral raises, a lot of overhead presses and carries. So you modify it for the client. That's what a great trainer can do. You look at the individual, set principles, specific adaptation to impose demands. What are your goals? I will help you get there depending on any the PAR-Q, physical activity readiness questionnaire. So you passed that. Was there any workout?
No workout.
So screen, can you talk to people? Do you have half a brain? Can you write a program? They don't want to see that you're doing crunches for 15 minutes. You're doing burpees and battle ropes. Did you see the programming for other people?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes, yeah.
How'd you get access to that?
Well, basically we had to present the program to everybody.
I got you. Oh, cool. So everyone's here, you go up there, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And so we actually did it in groups. I had a girl in my group, and then the other were groups of 3. And I kind of had to keep I had to keep my mouth closed because I was listening to these programs and they were just awful.
Really? How so?
Yeah. They had them doing movements that were inappropriate. One program had a client doing a lot of twisting exercises when he has lower back pain. I think their goal was to try and strengthen the lower back, but they were going about it the total wrong way. Another one was the guy had a posture imbalance, so they had him doing just a lot of stretching as opposed to strengthening, which is the best way to increase posture. And the other was kind of the volume that was in these workouts. Most of them didn't have enough for an hour. And so it was kind of like indicative that they had never really like taken someone through a workout because they thought that the amount of programming they had there was enough. Like one was 2 rounds of 4 exercises, and like
That was it?
that was it. And it was just like, that's not going to take an hour. It's going to take 20, 30 minutes.
Wow.
And then your client's going to feel cheated.
I mean, you're going to a place like Equinox, at least in LA, you're charging between 110 to 160 a session. And if you just pass the NASM certification, you're not going to be a great trainer. I stand by that wholeheartedly. You need to have experience training people. You need to take people through a full hour workout, a 30-minute workout, train 2 people, train 4 people, have a lot of variety. It's really cool to hear that in his mind he thought he messed up on a couple things, and I'm sure he probably messed up on more, no offense, but they're looking at the big picture. So if he comes in and maybe he's a little soft-spoken, they're not going to necessarily call you out on that, or maybe he'd ask not to put your hands up and you have him come here. In his mind, you're going to beat yourself up, like, I screwed up. They're looking at big picture. How is the overall recipe right? So essentially you're a cook, you're making lasagna, they want to see the process and how you cook it and how it tastes. Not, oh, you put a little too much salt on there. That's not going to kill you. And so, from the day that you submitted your application to the day you were hired, how long did it take? Have you started training yet?
No.
How long until you get there?
Like 2 months.
So no, before you start, it's your first hire day.
Oh, Monday.
So
3 days.
So how long from that date to when you first submitted it? How's it been?
I think it'll be like 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks.
I tell people give yourself a month. So the first time you submit that application, depending on holidays, on busyness of the gym, give yourself from first day to last day. Now, when did you present your NASM certification?
I really hadn't presented it yet. They just asked if I had it. I said yeah, and that was it.
They only need it legality-wise, which I don't know why, after you come on for paper. Now, I'm going to follow up with you to see, not trying to get you in trouble, but if they actually take it from you. Because most trainers go through a textbook, they learn online how to pass it, and they train people how they train. I have a 6-pack, I do crunches, therefore everyone should do that. Oh, you have back pain? Let's go through it. Let's do some bicycle crunches. Idiotic. So when you actually have a foundation of movement and you look, you know injuries and you know different bodies, you actually train people, that's what's going to make you successful. He's going to be a great trainer long term as a career because of his beginning emphasis. He wants to help people. There's no other career out there, in my opinion, where it's so new, so many opportunities and so many great things that you can do. I guarantee you, you're going to be presented with so many weird-ass situations that you never would have thought of. I had a guy a while back who, 2 years ago, he started training Equinox, and he just recently told me that he started training the Sheik from Dubai. I looked him up, the guy's worth over $10 billion. Do you think he was like, oh, I want to train this guy? That could open up so many opportunities. Ideas are cheap. Execution is hard. So now what he's done, he has an opportunity. My suggestion, spend a minimum 2-3 years just getting the reps in. Train. Keep learning. Find some areas that you want to really maybe hone in on, where maybe you start getting some injuries with your clients, or you're hearing of injuries that you're not comfortable with. Intern with the physical therapy office. Don't take the NASM CES. That's not going to help you train correctives better. You need to be around professionals who've done it before. Seek out a top therapist or even like a corrective specialist. Make sure it's not NASM, but that has experience. Maybe a chiropractor that's athletic based, with like ART, CSCS. Those will be people who have a lot of good experience. PRI, breathing mechanics. Well, keep on learning. Go to Perform Better. You're going to get an opportunity to do precision nutrition, and you're going to get an opportunity to get other certifications, but Equinox is an awesome brand. I think it's the pinnacle of the fitness industry. Lots of opportunity, but now you got the easy part's done. Now the hard part is to get in there, start talking to people, wearing that blue shirt, getting out of that comfort zone, communicating with people, seeing opportunities, and remember that you are their cure. You're the fountain of youth. People want the shortcut. They want supplements. They want the magical diet. That shit doesn't work. The real answer, showing up regularly, hard work, and you're the answer. Good job. All right.